Bluey isn't just a cartoon, it's the children's show that's taking over the world and making adults watch even when their kids aren't around. Today, I'll reveal Bluey's entire journey. But there's one secret to Bluey's success that most people miss completely, and I'll show you exactly what makes this show different from anything that came before it.
I'll go get my mum. Let go! Ribbon!
I'll come back another time.
Let's start at the beginning. Bluey was created by Joe Brumm, an Australian animator who had previously worked on children's shows in the United Kingdom, including the popular series Charlie and Lola. But unlike most children's programming, Bluey wasn't born in a corporate boardroom or designed by market research. Instead, it came from something much more personal, Brumm's own experiences as a father. While watching his two daughters play, Brumm noticed something fascinating. Their imaginative games weren't just cute or entertaining. They were sophisticated learning experiences that helped them process the world around them. Through play, his children were developing social skills, emotional intelligence, and creativity in ways that formal education couldn't match. Inspired by these observations, Brumm conceived a show that would focus entirely on the power of unstructured play. He created a blue heeler puppy named Bluey, named after his own childhood dog, and her family, setting the show in his hometown of Brisbane, Australia. In 2016, Brumm produced a 1-minute pilot through his company, Studio Joho, working with a small team in their spare time. The pilot caught the attention of Emmy Award-winning Queensland production company Ludo Studio, whose co-founders Charlie Aspinwall and Daley Pearson immediately recognized its potential. Together, they developed a 5-minute animation sample that was presented at the Asian Animation Summit in Brisbane in 2016. Michael Carrington of the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, ABC, was in attendance and was so impressed that he secured $20,000 in funding for a refined 7-minute pilot. This new pilot was presented at the Asian Animation Summit in 2017, and by July of that year, ABC and BBC officially commissioned Bluey as an animated series for preschool children with 52 7-minute episodes. The BBC invested 30% of the funding and acquired global distribution and merchandising rights. What made Bluey unique from the start was Brumm's artistic vision. He deliberately avoided the educational tropes common in children's television. There would be no lessons in counting or alphabet learning. As Brumm himself put it, there's no counting in Bluey, there's no learning this or that. Just show them playing. It's to show parents that the kids aren't just mucking around. They're learning to play, learning to share. And generally, you can just put your feet up and let them do it. The show premiered on ABC Kids in Australia on October 1st, 2018, and it didn't take long for viewers to realize this wasn't just another children's cartoon. Bluey was something special.
There's no I in team.
Dad, stop talking! Louie, look!
So what exactly set Bluey apart from the countless other children's shows on television? At first glance, it might seem simple. Cute animated dogs having adventures. But dig a little deeper, and you'll find several key elements that make Bluey truly revolutionary. First and foremost is the show's unwavering focus on play. Each episode revolves around a game that Bluey and Bingo invent, often drawing their parents into their imaginative worlds. These aren't flashy adventures with high-tech gadgets or magical powers. They're everyday games that transform ordinary objects and settings into extraordinary experiences. In Keepy Uppy, a simple balloon becomes the centerpiece of an entire episode as the family tries to prevent it from touching the ground. In Takeaway, a mundane trip to pick up dinner turns into an adventure when the kids must wait with their dad. The genius of Bluey is that these games are immediately recognizable to children and parents alike. They're the universal experiences of childhood brought to vibrant life. The second revolutionary aspect of Bluey is its portrayal of parents. In most children's shows, parents are either absent, one-dimensional, or played for laughs as bumbling fools. Bandit and Chili Heeler couldn't be more different. They're fully realized characters with jobs, interests, frustrations, and joys outside of their parenting roles. Bandit works as an archaeologist, while Chili works part-time in airport security. They get tired, they make mistakes, they occasionally lose their patience, but they're also deeply engaged in their children's lives. Bandit, in particular, has been praised as one of the most positive portrayals of fatherhood in children's media. willing to put aside his dignity to play with his kids while still maintaining appropriate boundaries. The third element that makes Bluey special is its emotional depth. While maintaining a lighthearted and humorous tone, the show doesn't shy away from exploring complex emotions and life lessons. Episodes tackle themes like jealousy, disappointment, patience, and even mortality, all while remaining appropriate for young viewers. In Copycat, Bluey processes the death of a bird by reenacting taking it to the vet. In Baby Race, Chili confronts her feelings of inadequacy as a new mother. These moments of vulnerability and growth are handled with remarkable sensitivity, providing children with emotional vocabulary while giving parents a chance to reflect on their own experiences. Finally, Bluey stands apart through its distinctly Australian identity. From the Queenslander-style homes to the native wildlife to the unmistakable Aussie accents, the show proudly celebrates its origins. Unlike many international productions that try to smooth out cultural specificity, Bluey embraces it, and global audiences have responded with enthusiasm rather than confusion.
I just need some help getting to the car.
Mom!
Your mum's at work, earning money.
When Bluey first aired in Australia in 2018, it immediately resonated with local audiences. Within its first year, it had become the most downloaded program in the history of ABC's video-on-demand service, ABC iView, with an astonishing 21.3 million plays. By May 2020, that number had skyrocketed to 261 million plays of episodes from just the first series. The show's success caught the attention of international distributors, and in 2019, the Walt Disney Company acquired the global broadcasting rights for both linear television and streaming. Bluey made its international debut on Disney Junior in the United States on September 9th, 2019, and later became available on Disney Plus in January 2020. Something remarkable happened during this international expansion. Unlike many shows that are heavily localized for different markets, Bluey remained authentically Australian. Despite initial requests to replace the Australian accents with American ones, the producers stood firm, and the original voice actors were retained for international broadcasts. This decision proved to be the right one. Rather than being alienated by the Australian setting and accents, international audiences embraced them. Children in America, Europe, and Asia fell in love with the Blue Heeler family just as Australian viewers had. The show's universal themes of family, play, and childhood transcended cultural boundaries. By 2021, Bluey had become a genuine global phenomenon. It was consistently among the most watched children's shows on Disney Plus, and merchandise was flying off shelves worldwide. The show won an International Emmy Kids Award and multiple Logie Awards, Australia's equivalent to the Emmys, and it received critical acclaim from television critics around the world. The show's rise coincided with the COVID-19 pandemic, which brought new viewers as families sought quality content they could enjoy together during lockdowns. For many, Bluey provided not just entertainment, but emotional comfort during a challenging time, with its emphasis on family togetherness and finding joy in small moments. By 2022, Bluey had cemented its place as not just a successful children's show, but a cultural touchstone. Episodes were analyzed in parenting blogs, academic papers, and major publications. References to the show appeared in mainstream media, and celebrities proudly declared themselves fans. In 2023, Rolling Stone magazine ranked Bluey at number 96 in its list of the greatest sitcoms of all time, the only Australian series to make the list. But what was happening behind the scenes during this meteoric rise to fame? The production of Bluey remained remarkably consistent with its initial vision, despite its growing popularity. Before we continue, hit that subscribe button, or Bluey and Bingo might make you play magic xylophone and freeze you in place forever.
But look, 1, 2, 3 different walks in 3 meters.
Bluey is animated in-house at Ludo Studio in Brisbane, Australia, where approximately 50 people work together to bring the show to life. Unlike many animated series that outsource animation to overseas studios, Bluey maintains a local production that captures the essence of Australian life. The process begins with Joe Brum, who writes most of the episode scripts. Many of the stories are drawn directly from his own family experiences, games his daughters played, conflicts that arose, and the everyday moments of parenthood. This personal touch gives Bluey an authenticity that resonates with viewers. After story ideas are conceived, the script writing process takes place for up to 2 months. The episodes are then storyboarded by artists who produce 500 to 800 drawings over 3 weeks while consulting the writer's script. After the storyboard is finished, a black and white animatic is produced, to which the dialogue recorded independently by voice artists is added. Speaking of voice artists, Bluey's cast features some interesting choices. David McCormick, the frontman of Australian rock band Custard, voices Bandit, while stage and screen actor Melanie Zanetti voices Chili. In keeping with the show's family-oriented approach, the child characters are voiced by children of the production crew and are not credited on screen to protect their privacy. Another unique aspect of Bluey's production is its music. Composer Geoff Bush creates original compositions for each episode, a decision inspired by Brum's experience working on Charlie and Lola in the UK. The show regularly incorporates classical music, with pieces like Beethoven's Ode to Joy and Mozart's Rondo alla Turca being adapted for the underscore. The episode Sleepy Time famously features Gustav Holst's Jupiter from the Planet Suite, creating one of the show's most emotionally resonant moments. The complete production process for an episode takes 3 to 4 months, a significant investment for 7 minutes of animation. This careful attention to detail extends to the show's visual style as well. Bluey features a distinctive color palette described by producer Sam Moore as a vibrant pastel, and the animation captures the unique semi-tropical Queensland climate and architecture. This dedication to craft and consistency, even as the show's popularity exploded, has been key to maintaining Bluey's quality across multiple seasons. But the show hasn't been without its challenges and controversies.
Very soon, my darling. What's your name again?
Despite its overwhelming success, Bluey has faced its share of challenges, particularly around content sensitivities in different markets. Several episodes have been temporarily removed from circulation or edited to address concerns. The episode Dad Baby, in which Bandit pretends to be pregnant while carrying Bingo in a baby carrier, never aired on Disney's outlets. While Disney hasn't officially disclosed a reason, it's been speculated that the episode was withheld due to its depictions of pregnancy and childbirth, which some markets might consider too explicit for children's programming. In another instance, the episodes Teasing and Flat Pack were temporarily removed after a viewer complained about the use of the term Ooga Booga, which was described as having racial connotations and a problematic history for Indigenous Australians. The ABC stated that the term had only been intended as irreverent rhyming slang made up by children, but the episodes were edited to remove the term. These instances highlight the challenges of creating content for global audiences with different cultural sensitivities. However, what's notable is how the Bluey team has generally responded with openness to feedback, making adjustments while maintaining the show's core values and creative integrity. However, the show has gradually introduced more diverse family arrangements and character backgrounds, including Calypso, a teacher who appears to live alone, and characters who display neurodivergent traits, like Jack, who shows signs of ADHD. Despite these occasional controversies, Bluey's reputation has remained remarkably positive, with critics and viewers praising its thoughtful approach to childhood, parenting, and family life. This goodwill has allowed the show to explore increasingly complex themes as it has evolved.
All right, this is not an actual stop, family, so everyone just stay.
All right.
As Bluey progressed through its seasons, the show's storytelling evolved in complexity and emotional depth, while maintaining its core focus on imaginative play. The first series established the show's premise and introduced viewers to the Healer family and their world. Episodes like Keepy Uppy, The Weekend, and BBQ showcased the simple games and family dynamics that would become the show's hallmark. The writers were growing more ambitious by the second series, which began airing in 2020. Episodes like Sleepy Time, which follows Bingo through a dream sequence inspired by space exploration, demonstrated a new level of visual and narrative sophistication. Flat Pack, which metaphorically traces the evolution of life on Earth through Bluey and Bingo's play with packaging materials, revealed the show's capacity for layered storytelling that works on multiple levels for different audiences. The third series, which began in 2021, pushed even further into complex emotional territory. Episodes like Onesies, touching on childlessness, Space, exploring abandonment fears, and Fairy Tale, examining sibling relationships across generations, tackled sophisticated themes while maintaining the show's playful spirit. This evolution culminated in The Sign, a special 28-minute episode that aired in April 2024, focusing on a wedding between Bluey's uncle and godmother while dealing with themes of change and acceptance. The extended runtime allowed for more complex narrative development than the standard 7-minute format, showcasing how far the show had come from its initial concept.
You didn't do anything to upset me, sweetheart.
Then why don't you want to see us?
Beyond its impressive viewership numbers and critical acclaim, Bluey has made a significant cultural impact that extends far beyond television. Bluey has become more than entertainment for parents. It's a model for engaged parenting. The portrayal of Bandit and Chili as imperfect but present parents who prioritize play has influenced parenting approaches around the world. Articles in major publications have analyzed Bluey parenting as a philosophy emphasizing the importance of getting down on the floor and playing with your children, even when you're tired or busy. Phrases from the show have entered family vocabularies worldwide. Children and parents alike now use terms like dollar bucks, for real life, and trifficult in everyday conversation. Games featured in the show, like Keepy Uppy and Dance Mode, are being played in real-life living rooms, demonstrating the show's direct influence on how families play together. In education, Bluey has sparked conversations about the value of unstructured play in child development. Early childhood educators point to the show as an example of how imaginative play builds social skills, emotional intelligence, and problem-solving abilities, supporting the growing movement away from overly structured activities for young children. The show has made a particular impact on discussions around fatherhood. Bandit's portrayal as an involved, playful father who also maintains boundaries has been praised as revolutionary in children's media. In a landscape where fathers are often portrayed as either absent, incompetent, or one-dimensional, Bandit offers a nuanced model of modern fatherhood that resonates with real dads. Bluey's cultural footprint continues to grow through merchandise, live shows, and most recently, a video game released in 2023 for multiple platforms. In November 2022, a Bluey balloon debuted at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, cementing the character's status as a global icon. Perhaps most significantly, Bluey has changed expectations for children's television by proving that a show can be genuinely entertaining for all ages without compromising its child-focused approach. Bluey has raised the bar for what family programming can.
Have some grass, sheepdog.
Jump, jump, jump.
And now for the revelation I promised at the beginning. The secret to Bluey's unprecedented success that most people miss completely. While many attribute the show's popularity to its cute characters, Australian charm, or positive parenting models, the true genius of Bluey lies in something more fundamental: its radical respect for children. Unlike most children's programming, Bluey never talks down to its audience. It doesn't assume children need constant stimulation, simplified language, or heavy-handed lessons. Instead, it trusts children to follow nuanced stories, understand complex emotions, and draw their own conclusions from what they see. This respect extends to how the show portrays childhood itself. Where many shows present childhood as either an idealized fantasy or a series of problems to be solved by adults, Bluey depicts it as a rich, complex experience with intrinsic value. Children in Bluey aren't incomplete adults waiting to grow up. They're complete people experiencing a unique and important stage of life. The games Bluey and Bingo play aren't just cute narrative devices. They're shown as sophisticated meaning-making activities through which children process their world. When Bluey pretends to be a doctor or shopkeeper, she's not just playing. She's rehearsing social roles, testing boundaries, and developing her understanding of how society works.
Ready, Bingo? Ready? Yeah!
As of mid-2024, the future of Bluey remains somewhat uncertain. The third series concluded with The Sign in April 2024, and while small minisodes have been released, no official announcement about a fourth series has been made. In July 2023, Daley Pearson of Ludo Studios stated that the production team was taking a short break from making episodes. Creator Joe Brum indicated that the audience response to The Sign could influence the future of the series. However, producer Sam Moore confirmed after The Sign aired that this was not the end for Bluey, leading fans to hope for more adventures from the Healer family. In an interview with Deadline, Brum expressed enthusiasm about creating longer-form content after the experience of making the extended episode, saying he would not rule out the possibility of a Bluey feature film. In December 2024, these hopes were realized when BBC Studios and Disney announced that a Bluey film entitled Bluey the Movie would be released theatrically in 2027. This computer-animated feature will see the return of the series' voice cast and creative team, with Brum returning as writer and director. Whatever form Bluey takes in the future, its legacy is already secure. For families worldwide, Bluey has become more than a TV show. It's a shared language, a parenting guide, and a celebration of childhood. What's your favorite Bluey episode or moment? Let us know in the comments below, and do watch our video about Bluey's school in real life.
I can see. Now you are here to protect the kingdom.
Yeah!